I'm Adrienne, your sex positive bestie, here for sexy talk, real stories, and tips that just hit. Ready to play? Let's go. Midlife Moans. But it's not what you think. Today, I'm going to be talking with you about things in midlife to moan about, and no one warned you until now. I was thinking the other day, like, wow, I cannot believe I'm going to be 45 this year. That sounds crazy. And Mr. Wright and I often talk about like our 5-year plan. And in 5 years, we're going to be 50. I remember thinking 50 was such an old number. And now I'm like, oh my God, he's only 50. He's young. Or you're 50. Yeah, all my friends are 50. And that just sounds crazy. And it's just amazing how fast time flies. And when you look around the room, just how really everything has changed, right? And no one warned you about this. No one told you when that starting gun shot off and it was like, run for your life. You're hitting mid-age. It's a really weird place to be in. And they have all these books, right? Like what to expect when you're expecting, what to expect when you're a parent, what to expect, blah, blah, blah. There's never really what to expect when you're in midlife. So today, I'm just going to be bringing up a few of these things because if you're in midlife like me, you're going to relate very much. And if you are on your way to it, at least I'm warning a brother, okay? Like I'm going to give you a warning of what to expect to moan and groan about as you head into midlife. Okay, so I made a little list here. And it was funny because as I was making the list, I had all of these different scenarios and situations where I was like, oh my God, that's an example of when blank, or the funny thing that Mr. Wright did when he couldn't see, or, you know, it's just so relatable because it's like we're all going through this. And it's just a wild time, right? I don't know. And we're also like the world has changed so much. And I guess it has decade after decade, but we are really living and adulting and parenting in a time that is like never happened before. And it's really wild with the internet and all kinds of things going on in the world. Oh, what a wild time to be alive. Okay. So let's get started on things to moan and groan about in midlife, but also, you know, there's a lot of amazing things that happen in midlife too. Okay, so number one, and this is not in any order, it's just a bunch of random things. Despite what your body says, you don't feel much older than you did 20 years ago. And sometimes like that can fuck with you. So for instance, I'll be like, yeah, I'm good. I can tailgate all day. And then the game starts at 8 and I'll be perfectly fine. And the next day, reality is I feel like a train ran over me, right? Like when I went to games late at night, I would be like, hey, I can't go to work on Monday, or I'm going to be in late for sure. It's amazing to me how your stamina runs out. I remember when I was in college, I would get off of work at 11 p.m. and be like, oh, fuck yeah, the night is young. I mean, even midnight, I'd be like, well, the bars don't close till 4 in the city. So I can just head downtown and let it rip. I mean, my God, being up all night, like that's insane, right? And then I would get up and be in an 8 a.m. class and do it all over again. I feel like I can do those things, but reality is my body's like, no, you cannot. Those days are over for you. And I think it's kind of like a weird mental thing too, where I know I'm 44 and I know like what stage of life I'm in. However, I still kind of feel like the 25, 26-year-old Adrienne. I don't really feel like I've changed that much. I know I've grown older and wiser and learned a lot of lessons. And I've, learned from my mistakes in the past. And that's a beautiful thing. But I still feel like I'm just as fun and outgoing and, adventurous and want to do all the things and life of the party. I feel like that really hasn't changed for me. It's an interesting dynamic. Like I said, I don't feel like I'm that much older than I was 20 years ago, even though my body says otherwise. Something that I am definitely struggling with big time. I mean, I am this close to changing the font on my phone. Overnight, seemingly, you lose your eyesight. Okay, I can't see up close. I can't see far away. I can't see shit. It's become like this comical thing. And my brother's like, Adrienne, like, you need to go to the eye doctor. I'm like, I do. I have bifocals, or what they like to call them nowadays, multifocal. I've done all the things. I still can't see shit. Okay. I need these glasses to see far away. I need these glasses to see close up. I have refused to get readers, even though I really, really need to. Katina's like, Adrienne, just cave. And I can't do it yet. I did change my phone over to dark mode, and I feel like that helps make text pop a little more. I mean, that's the extent of where I'm willing to go right now, because I'm like, oh my God, this can't be happening. I have a funny story to share. We had a big snowstorm this last weekend, and I asked Mr. Wright, I said, hey, have they plowed the roads? Because we live like in a cul-de-sac, and there's another road, and there's a main road, and you can kind of see it through the woods since the trees aren't green. And he was looking, and he was like, I don't know. He's like, hang on. And he like picks up his BB gun that has a scope on it. He goes, I'll be able to see with the scope. And I was like, watching this man point a BB gun in the window using the scope to see whether or not the road had been plowed. I was like, wow, that's like a new low of shitty eyesight, right? I mean, at least we're not alone. But I'm telling you, losing your eyesight is something that's really, really difficult. It's been really hard for me. I've never been able to see far away, but to lose my eyesight up close really sucks. Like my daughter will pass me something, or I've noticed doing my makeup in the mirror. It's just not fair. And I think the eyesight thing is really, really, really bothering me. One blessing about midlife and growing older is that you give less and less fucks. And I want to tell you how that is a really good thing. I feel like, and you've heard it on the show, you start to really embrace your authentic self and you want to live it out. You're not afraid what anyone thinks about you anymore. You can care less about the Tom, Dick, and Harry that have comments or the peanut gallery. None of that shit matters anymore. At least I hope it doesn't for you. I do have a couple of people that I know in my life who really, really care still about what others think. And I hate to see them missing out on goals they can be achieving or memories they can be making because they're scared of what others think. But majority of us, you just give less and less fucks, from the clothes that you wear to the shoes that you're wearing to, you might not have the most stylish hat on or whatever, to, exploring new things and trying new things and not really caring anymore about what someone's going to say or think about it. I love the fact that as you get older, you lose the amount of fucks that you originally once had. And so that to me is a huge, major blessing in midlife. And by the way, if you're not like getting rid of those fucks, please do. Like, you should be able to lift your bucket of fucks with the pinky finger. Okay. Like, this one pinky finger should be the amount of fucks that you are giving anymore in this life. Because let's be real. I think one of the realizations is we are at midlife, and unfortunately, during this time, and we'll talk about this in a minute, but everyone's getting older too. And you start to lose loved ones, you lose friends, and you really realize just how fragile and fleeting life can be. I've had a lot of loss over the last year, and I will tell you, like, especially losing my dad, something that really sticks with me is my dad's first day of official retirement was when he was diagnosed with cancer and had to stay home for treatment and stuff. Like, that was my dad's retirement. He worked every fucking day until he got sick, never enjoyed his retirement. And that makes me so sad. Like, it's something where I remember telling Mr. Wright, like, I will not be doing that. Like, I have got to make a plan to what I like to call soft retire and to really enjoy my 50s and early 60s, because shit, life comes at you fast and you start to have different ailments and disease. And I mean, it happens to most of us, by the way, and it starts to get harder to travel. And I want to make all those memories. Like, I expect my 50s to be my very best years. I've been telling Mr. Wright about it. We talk about this 5-year plan all the time. And I'm like, hey, I want to live. I don't want to spend my whole life, and not to say I'm not going to work, but like, I don't want to spend my life grinding as hard as I do now and the hustle and bustle and living in a rat race. I don't want to do that anymore. And it's best to plan now so that I can enjoy, the latter part of my life. Like, thinking about how my dad didn't just really, really, really makes me sad. And I feel like I want to live for him in those years and really enjoy it. Not to say my dad had a bad life, but he worked his ass off and didn't get to really enjoy his retirement. And that to me is such a bummer. And so, just living your best life and really focusing on you. It's a really good thing. Okay. So something else that I've noticed as I've gotten older and something that people don't talk about is you develop new allergies, new weird things that you can't eat anymore. Like I can't eat corn anymore or Brussels sprouts really. Like I don't really do a good job at digesting them. I feel like shit after I eat it. I miss corn in the summer with butter and Old Bay. Like that's like my favorite thing in the world. You know, I'm a Maryland girl and I can't eat corn anymore. And a lot of other things. And remember, I was talking to you about my eye. Like I had this weird eye swelling, like peeling over odd situation. I went to 4 different doctors and finally a dermatologist was like, I think it's contact dermatitis, you know, get rid of your pillowcases, your makeup. I mean, I went through hell and guess what it was? I found out. Gel nail polish. Swear to God, it was the gel nail polish. After I switched to this dipping powder instead, it went away. I haven't had a flare up since. So that's the only thing that I've changed and it made a difference. I just can't. I'm like, oh my God, when did I become allergic to gel nail polish? Like that's insane. And I have a lot of my friends going through allergy testing and trying all these things, or their eyes are swelling, or they have a mysterious rash. It's like, what the hell is my body going through? Glad to say the eye thing's over. And let's just see what happens next time. Let's talk about, in midlife, something that you do is you spend time recovering and growing, learning from trauma in your past. And I can tell you right now, it's very distinct for those who have overcome it and those who have not. My brother and I talk a lot. We are super close. And it's funny because we've been realizing a lot of things. And I said to him, I guess so-and-so's always been this way. And now it's just really glaring because we've healed, we've evolved, we've grown. Or, I know that we had like a kind of a rough childhood growing up, or, this happened, or gosh, I married someone I definitely regret marrying, and I had a hell of a divorce, and we both have been through a lot of things. All my friends have. And it's either a very traumatic thing that you never get over, right? Like you're not overcoming it, or you do. And that to me is like a huge thing. So, and you can look around the room and see it too. Like your trauma, you have to let that go. Like you will be exponentially happier if you just focus on the now. And I know I talk a lot about like, the rear view is a lot smaller than the windshield. I don't want to look back or look forward. I want to look at right now. I feel like, especially with the pressure and the internet and, all the societal pressures that we have, it's always like looking back, moving forward, planning ahead. And really what we're missing out on is the now. I'm really trying hard to focus more on that and to let go of the past. I know we've all heard of the let go and the let them theory and all that stuff, but are you really practicing it? Don't get stuck in purgatory. I know we all have suffered something in our life. I think I've talked about it, how we were at my brother's country club and there was kids there getting pictures taken for homecoming and they all looked so beautiful. They were so young. That's another way you're getting old, is because you're like, oh my God, they look so young. And they were so happy and joyous and fun. And, first of all, they have the energy for that shit anymore, right? And I remember telling Mr. Wright, I was like, life hasn't beat them up yet, right? And that I want to live like them. That's all I want to say. Okay. Something else when you're getting older that you notice is everyone else is getting older too, especially your loved ones and your parents. And I think something that a lot of people don't talk about and they're not prepared for is the fact that you very well may be a caregiver at some point in your life. Never did I think I would know the ins and outs of hospice care and, in hospice facilities, at home hospice care with my dad and my grandfather. I had like 7 significant deaths last year. Maybe, I think it was 7. I know I went to 7 funerals last year, and it was a lot of loss. And also I was a caregiver, for my dad, and I helped with my grandpa when he was in the hospice facility. And I went and saw my pop and he was on hospice and said goodbye, but I'm all too familiar with all of these things. And, you take care of your grandparents, and I send my grams bagels and, things that she might need. I'll DoorDash something or visit her in rehab because she had a, stroke or something. Like all these things are happening. And it's just a really weird role to be thrown into. And sometimes you think, no one's going to die and no one's going to pass and no one's going to get sick. But the reality is that's just not the way life goes. And as you get older, everyone else is getting older too. And you may become a caregiver. And so that's something to really, really think about. Okay. When you're older, day drinking becomes incredibly more fun and exciting than drinking at night. Like that is definitely a thing. I'm like, oh, you want a day drink? Oh, it's a 1:00 game. Oh yeah, I definitely want to do that because if I'm in bed by 6, it was a good day. That's something else that happens in midlife. And as you get older, sleep becomes everything. Actually, as I was writing these topics down, I was thinking, oh, I just cannot wait to turn on my humidifier, crank up my heated blanket, get in bed and go to sleep. Like, what the fuck is happening to me? But I'm telling you, sleep is everything because I'll feel so good tomorrow morning. I'm excited about it. In the summer, like if the sun's still up and I'm getting myself in bed, I'm like, ooh, I'm going to have a good night's rest. How embarrassing and ridiculous is that? But I'm telling you right now, it is a big deal. Like, no joke. And like night drinking and staying up late, I can't do that shit anymore. When we went to Times Square for New Year's Eve, it was amazing and exciting. But coming home at 2, 3 in the morning, I mean, I was wiped the next day. Ugh, getting old sucks. That's a moan. That's a good moan for that. Okay. Another one is all of a sudden, the last decade felt like it went by overnight. I swear to you, when I say like 30, I'm like, I feel 30. I'm still 30. No, bitch, you're 45. Holy hell. I mean, it's just insane. And also when you have kids, talk about reality in the face. My daughter is a teenager. She will be 14 this year. When I think about that number, I'm like, wait a minute. I have not aged 14 years since she's been born. But yeah, you have. And that's a big thing too. Like as they hit these milestones, I'm like, oh my God, she's going to be going to high school and all this. And I'm like, wow. Time is flying by. And especially like the last 10 years, like my 20s, I feel like I was really young, dumb, made dumb mistakes, did dumb shit in my 20s. But I don't feel like my 30s were that far away. And the reality is they are. And that's sometimes hard for me to grasp, I swear. Something else is suddenly when you're getting older, the grocery store music is good and it gives me high school memories. That's something that is like really interesting to me is I'm in the grocery store and I hear Ludacris and I'm like, wait a minute, what's happening here? That's really, really funny is like the music in the grocery store is now the music I grew up with. And so that's pretty wild. Something else too, when I was just talking about parenting that I wanted to mention is that, parenting, it doesn't get any easier. It just gets different. And parenting evolves. It never ends. It's so funny because I have some friends that have younger children and stuff, and I see the struggles they're going through with toddlers or, elementary school and all that stuff. And I'm like, oh gosh. And those are a lot of struggle, but then also like middle school is a lot of struggle and it's just different things. Like at first you're worried about keeping these things alive. And then as they get older, you're like, I'm worried about everyone else, in their life and how that's impacting them. Parenting is a really odd thing as you get older. I am about to hit those high school teen girl years. My daughter's a really good girl and I'm praying to God she stays normal. I told Katina, I was like, can she help me? How did you keep your youngest daughter? Like, how did you keep her the same through everything? And it's, it's scary. It's scary out here, this whole parenting thing. Like that's something else like there's no book to tell you. Like at first it's like how to take care of a baby, but then you're on your own. Hope they survive. Okay. Something else in midlife that I never thought I would be doing is learning about hormones. Like now I know what the acronym HRT stands for, hormone replacement therapy. I was not prepared for this. I told you guys that I got my hormones checked and everything's good. I've been working with my amazing friend, Beth. She's actually going to come on the show and talk about all kinds of hormone things. She's been helping me. I got an estrogen patch now. I have progesterone. I do not need testosterone, which I didn't think I had a problem with that. I mean, I'm like, I didn't think that was going to be an issue with the way that I feel all the time. But, checking these levels and doing all these things and figuring out why am I so tired. And I have a lot of friends that are going through this too. Katina just had a full workup and just learning about how important these fucking hormones are to you. I told Mr. Wright the other day, I was like, we had like an amazing session together and it was all about me pleasing him this night. And I was so turned on and like dripping wet. And I told him, I was like, oh my God, like feel that. And he was like, wow. And I was like, I'm so glad that still happens. Like, cause like that's a thing, right? It's a lot as your body changes as you grow older and especially sexually. Like my sexual health is so vital to me. And so if you don't know about these things, check them out. Speaking of sexual health too, I want to talk about lube really quick. You guys know I love Astroglide. I feel like it is something, it's a lube I've always loved and trusted and talked about on the show. But Mr. Wright and I found one that's strawberry scented. And at first I was like, I don't know. But guess what? It smells amazing. And this is weird, but we really you get like random whiffs of like this really sweet strawberry, and it smells so good when you're fucking. It was the other day, Mr. Wright woke me up, and I like to call, like, we have like that prone position, sleepy sex, one of my favorite things. And he actually had lube on his hand, and he like put it in front of my nose so I could smell it a little bit. And I was like, it was like so fresh and like woke me up. I was like, that's sexy. So I am loving that lube. And I found out today they have a peach one. So I ordered it and I'm going to try that one. I'm also going to reach out to them. I really want to work with them and see if I can do a giveaway or something, because I just love their lube so much. And also a huge bonus for me is that it doesn't taste bad. I don't really notice a taste, and the smell is amazing, and it doesn't get sticky. I will say though, I feel like when I use it, I have to keep using it. And part of me is like, feels like that's an insecurity thing. I'm like, oh, I need more lube. Oh, I need more lube. But it is what it is. I don't get freaked out about that stuff anymore. But like I said, the one downside to using lube is that you're going to need more. But I love the strawberry scented Astroglide. Highly recommend. Okay, we talked about the sex stuff. Something else that happens as you get older, which I think is an amazing thing, is that you really start to prioritize your peace, and you want less drama in your life. That also includes like in your career, your work life, right? Like suddenly you might have a change in your career or be like, I'm done with this shit. I'm going to tell you right now. I don't talk about work on the show or my career, but of course I have one, and I've, been in it for 21 years. And I used to be in a very high paced pressure cooker environment. I had those golden handcuffs wrapped around my wrists, and I have never, a lot happened, but never in my life have I ever been happier than when I left that place. Okay. And I realized as everything was happening that I had my ladder, the corporate ladder that I was trying to climb, up against the wrong house. And I finally realized that no amount of money is worth that type of mental warfare. And you got to be happy in life. I mean, there's something about, and I don't know, just reaching the goals and getting the next promotion just stopped being a thing I gave a fuck about. And we're talking about getting rid of fucks. And it's more about prioritizing peace and having balance, right? Like not stressing out about, I remember I would pick up my daughter from school and she would say, "What went wrong today?" That's not normal. That's not okay. And something else that I really had to come to grasp, with is, you're just a number in those places, and they don't give a shit. Like the moment you leave, they're going to have a new job rec out. Like if I died before the ink was dry on my obituary, they would have a new job rec out. Okay. So if you're in that high pace thing and you're feeling like you want to get out. Like I highly recommend. And it stings, like, right? Like there's sometimes I really miss that money. I miss that paycheck, but I do not miss the chaos. And I value my peace and balance and flexibility way more. To me, that is priceless. And I feel like a lot of us, as you've been in the grind for so long, you're like, I'm ready to get off this hamster wheel, right? Like it was cool. It was fun. Got me a lot of things in my life, but I don't know. That's a big shift in midlife, and you want to reach your own personal goals and just this sounds terrible, do less, right? Like, I mean, I want to put attention and time and energy and effort into other things in my life. Work is not everything. Okay. Something else that I want to talk about is friendships. And I might even do like a full episode on this, because I think it's important to talk about how your friendships evolve as you get older, especially with the different paths that you take. I think the only person in my friend group that went to college, and that was a huge, huge shift for me. I still talk to a lot of my friends from high school and stuff, and of course I see them on Facebook and all that, but it's really difficult to find ways to connect with them anymore because they, went off and got jobs and got married and had babies way before I did. And so they're in different phases of life, and everybody just goes their different ways. And you really start to realize that the amount of acquaintances that you had in your life goes higher, and your close friends, the people who you let in and trust and love, it becomes a really short list, right? Zach, Katina, they're my roots in my life and friendships. And then I have a bunch of branches that are just a ton of acquaintances. And I have a lot of great friends. And then I have the leaves, people who come and go and all that stuff. But your friendships change. Sometimes it can be really sad. And sometimes you just have nothing in common with people anymore. But that's a normal thing. But no one warns you about it. And it happens pretty quick in midlife. Okay. The last thing I want to talk about when it comes to midlife is the amount of aches and pains that you have in your body. I slipped on black ice and chipped my elbow. My elbow is still hurting. When I'm in the gym, if I do push-ups, I'm I feel car accidenty. Oh my God, I'm so sore. This ab workout I've been doing. And just really you have to listen to your body now anymore. You can't push it like you used to. It's just so crazy. Midlife, it's a wild place. I hope that some of these things resonated with you. And if you're coming up into the midlife ages, get ready, buckle up because it's coming in hot. But I think if the biggest takeaway that I can give you is to, learn from your past trauma, overcome that shit, and really give less fucks. Live your life as authentically as you can, because if you haven't looked around, time is running out, right? It's inevitable, right? You're going to pay taxes and die. All of us are. And let's make the most of it in these formative, amazing years. I plan on spending the next 20 years of my life living to the fullest and, the best that I can be. And that's a huge thing, is being, just focusing on yourself, giving less fucks, and also being unbothered. I think on the next episode, I'm going to talk about being unbothered. Unbothered in relationships, especially, and in life, and really learning how to embrace that, because I think what happens when you do that is you really grow and love yourself more. I feel like I've been talking to a lot of friends lately about that. Put yourself first. You are the prize. I was watching this show on Netflix called Master of None. They talk about Triple B. Beautiful, busy, badass, right? You're these things in your life, because and that's the energy that you will now attract. And I want to talk about that because especially in midlife, a lot of us find ourselves, getting divorced or starting over. And it's something to really learn and master before you get into another relationship, and to live a happy and fulfilled life as we move along. So I might talk about being unbothered, or something else I was thinking of. And if you're listening, hit me up on the website or via email, midlifecraving@gmail.com, or over on Instagram @midlifecraving in my DMs. Because something else I've been thinking about talking about is where are they now? And discussing all of my past guests and where they are now. A lot of you have asked about Uncle Mo, and I think I'm ready to share what really went down, because guess what? As I'm giving less fucks, I don't care. I'm going to speak my truth and tell what happened. And then Carissa, she just disappeared from the show, and everyone's like, where's Carissa? Well, I have a fucking story to share with you. And so I've been thinking about it. Would you want to hear an episode of Where Are They Now? Let me know. I will see you guys next week. Stay warm. Warm wishes for everybody. No more snow in Baltimore. Bye.